It ripped my heart out of my chest.
The community of Cold Springs, Nevada is mourning the devastating loss of 5-year-old Izabella Loving. I got my hands on the arrest report declaration and probable cause documents. I'm going to warn you, the details of this case are grim. A 911 call was placed on April 4th around 6:55 a.m. The caller stating that there was a 5-year-old female unresponsive, not breathing, cold to the touch, had no pulse, and had been sick since the night before. First responders found the little girl in a room, laying on her back on the ground, next to a tiny mattress with no bed frame. They were unable to save Isabella. She was pronounced dead at the scene by 7:22. Now, her death wasn't the only suspicious thing they noticed. This probable cause narrative says EMTs noted that she had, and I quote, a lot of signs of trauma. The documents list oral trauma, bruising on her face, pelvis, hips, inside both of her biceps, and on her genitals. It also states that 5-year-old Isabella had over 10 separate injuries easily seen on her face alone. Let that sink in for just one moment. So you're probably wondering what the deal is with Isabella's parents, Nicholas and Andrea Loving. This wasn't their first run-in with law enforcement. Later that day at the sheriff's office, the stories of what happened began to change. And Nicholas admitted that him and his wife discovered Isabella wasn't breathing just after 2 a.m., which means Isabella was likely dead for nearly 5 hours before anyone called 911. Nicholas then goes on to tell them that they had a small makeshift cubby in the girl's room and that they would sometimes lock Isabella inside of it. The room was shared with 3 other girls, all of which had nice, queen sized beds, while Isabella slept on a crib sized mattress on the floor. Now, if that doesn't frustrate you enough, Andrea initially denied any type of abuse by either parent, until she went on to admit that when they realized Isabella was dead, Nicholas suggested they pack up their other kids, bury Isabella's body in the backyard, and quote, run to his parents' house in Virginia. But then she said if they left the body, it would rot. And Nicholas argued that they could not call 911 because of the multiple injuries all over Isabella's body. So collectively, they decided to drag her body from the cubby they held her in and stage her lifeless body while they came up with her alibi. So then Andrea changes her story again. She says she did see Nicholas abusing Isabella, and she admitted to not checking on her daughter or calling 911. Nicholas was arrested for child abuse causing bodily harm. To say the community is heartbroken is an understatement. They are also furious that nothing was done to protect Isabella.
I know people had reached out and talked to CPS, and the case was shut down, and there's a lot of outrage.
We will continue to update you here as new information is released.